Joining right now is Democratic Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania. He's a member of the Joint Economic Committee. Senator Casey, I guess there's a battle that's over, and I just wonder who won. And when you cut spending, usually that's a sign you cut jobs. Is that your view?
Well, Chris, I don't think there's any question. When I talk to people in Pennsylvania, they want us to cut spending. As you know, we cut by a record amount in the 2011 budget. We cut a lot of spending, or will be cutting as a result of this recent agreement. So there's no question we have to do that. But I think the debate now is going to be, when you propose cuts to the federal budget, what effect will that have on the economy and jobs, as you assert? But also, what's the difference between a smart cut and a cut that really hurts investment, hurts jobs, and really doesn't make us grow? And I think that's where some of the debate is. I think they did see a difference this spring when the Republican House put out a budget where they cut medical research by $1 billion. That's a bad idea. When they slash law enforcement by hundreds of millions of dollars, that's a bad idea. So I think the debate's not going to be about cutting spending or not, because we have to and we have, but how we do that.
Is President Obama viewed in Pennsylvania as an aggressive Democrat or as a passive Democrat?
It's hard to categorize it, but I think Pennsylvania right now has kind of a mixed point of view about the president, and I think that's a result mostly of where we are in the economy. When I go across the state, people say to me a couple of basic messages: focus on jobs, work things out, and try to come together and compromise. And if we do that, especially those of us who happen to be Democrats, I think we'll do just fine. But right now is a very tough time for the country. People are leading very tough lives of struggle and sacrifice and a lot of anxiety, and we've got to be able to understand that if we're going to be effective at leading them. And that's what I hear across Pennsylvania about spending and about getting things done.
Okay, Senator, today's August 3rd, 2011. What's the federal government doing today? What's the Obama administration, the president, doing today, besides taking a bus trip, to create jobs? What program is hiring people, putting people to work, coming up with public works projects? Where is all that happening? I just don't see it happening.
Well, Chris, I think we made a good decision last year at the end of the year, and it actually was bipartisan, to use the tax code. The payroll tax credit, payroll tax cut, I should say, was a very good idea. I think it had a very positive impact in the early months of the year when we were getting private sector growth of 220, 230, 240 every month. That worked, I think, well. I think the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, using the tax code is one way to create jobs. I would hope, and I'm not sure our Republican friends will go along with this, but I would hope that we could come up with a very focused and targeted but effective infrastructure program. I think in Pennsylvania, you know our state well. At both ends of our state and in the middle as well, we've got a lot of jobs and a lot of activity around medical research, the life sciences. A tax credit like that, I think, is a good idea. I think the administration would agree with us. But I think there's still some work to do to either reinstitute strategies that have worked to create jobs, but also to introduce new ideas like a life sciences tax credit.
Yeah, the problem, Senator, is the first 3 months created 200,000 jobs a month, and last month it was 18,000. And that is a real drop. And I just hope this unemployment record, the news coming out Friday, is another turnaround. We need another turnaround. Thank you so much, Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania.